Grandma's Treasured Shoes by Coral Vass. Ready? Okay. Everybody, that's Grandma. Grandma has oodles and oodles of shoes. Guys, she has lots of shoes. Look at that. That's her shoes, and she has plenty. Well, in her terms, she has oodles and oodles of shoes. Walk to the park shoes, dance in the dark shoes, fun shoes, and sun shoes. Out and about shoes, splash in the rain shoes, fancy shoes, plain shoes. Now guys, she has all kinds of shoes. Beach shoes, fancy shoes, party shoes. Ooh, that's a party shoes. That's rainy shoes. And that's park shoes. Walk in the park, walk to the park shoes. Well, she has all kinds of shoes. But her favorite shoes are her worn and torn shoes from a long time ago and a land far away. Now guys, well, she has plenty of shoes, but her favorite shoes are her worn and torn shoes. Once upon a time ago, they were old shoes, frail shoes, dusty and pale shoes, hidden with secrets, remarkable tales. Now guys, that's her favorite shoes, and that has amazing stories to tell, remarkable tales. Now let's see what happens. Once they were village shoes, working shoes, walking shoes, childhood play shoes, everyday shoes. Now guys, once she wore that same particular shoes in her village while she was doing her chores, and the same shoes she wore to her school, and that was her everyday shoes. As you can see, and her village is beautiful. Till one frightful night, she needed to flee. With no luggage, no bags, just the shoes on her feet. Now guys, one dreadful night when she didn't predict, nobody did predict, she had to leave nothing. She had to leave with nothing but her shoes, her favorite shoes, that the shoes she wore all the time. Now she had to flee. She needed to flee. They were fearful shoes, racing shoes, chasing shoes, escaping shoes. Now guys, there's been dark times in her village, and she and her family are very scared. And it looks like they are climbing on board on a boat. And she is wearing her favorite everyday shoes, but now that shoes is a fearful shoe. That's a racing shoes, chasing shoes, and escaping shoe. As you can see, her whole village is trying to get on a boat. Traveling shoes, tarry shoes, roaming shoes and weary shoes, muddy shoes, drifting shoes, sandy shoes, sifting shoes. Now guys, she's wearing her favorite shoes, and it's getting muddy and tarry and weary, and she is getting scared. Her shoe, scared. Guys, as you can see, they're on a boat and they're off to somewhere unpredictable, because they had to flee. And she's trembling and roaming with her shoes. At last, she climbed aboard a small fishing boat. They became sailing shoes, sea shoes, salty but free shoes. Now, guys, at last they climb aboard, and there she goes, dreaming of a new home, a new land with her everyday shoes. And now her shoe became sailing shoes, sea shoes, salty but free shoes. Weeks and months went by, till one day the boat stopped. Grandma stepped out onto new land and was given new shoes to wear. Now, guys, the journey's been terrible. She was so scared, but she was safe with her parents. But she was so scared, but her shoes were there to protect her from cold, protect her from land, protect her from surface. Her favorite shoes was there with her, but now she reached somewhere, and weeks and months later, there is an opportunity to wear a new shoes, and it looks like she might be a new friend. As you can see, Grandma is hopeful again. They were strange shoes, tiny shoes, school shoes, and shiny shoes. Now, guys, now that's one of the most important part of her life, and that's one of the most important shoes that she owns. That became the first shoe in her new life, and they were strange. They were strange and tiny and new school shoes. And we have to admit, it's pretty shiny. It's pretty shiny. Red shoes, green shoes, beige shoes, clean shoes. Now, guys, life moves on, as you can see. Now, she's this beautiful land. She's starting her new life with her family, and she moved on, and everybody else, and now she has all kinds of shoes to collect again. As you can see, she has very watermelon-y shoes. She has green shoes. She has beige shoes. She has, remember, her school shoes. She has all kinds of new shoes now. Ballet shoe. Ballet shoes, busy shoes, party shoes and city shoes, dazzling dress shoes and grown-up success shoes. Now, guys, look at her shining in her new life, wearing all kinds of shoes, leaving her legacy with her shoes. As you can see, she's wearing ballet shoes. She's a ballerina. And then she's wearing her dazzling dress shoes, grown-up success shoes. That's a corporate shoes, and that's busy shoes, and that's a city shoe. Look at that. She is just amazing. Amazing, wearing all kinds of shoes in her newfound land. Grandma has oodles and oodles of shoes. Too many to count. Sorry about that. Too many to count. Too many to choose. Now, guys, there's so many shoes, and she just couldn't choose one, because those all have memories. They all have that. Those old shoes are her legacy, her story, her life. And there are too many to count and too many to choose. Too many of the wonderful, beautiful memories to choose. But high on a shelf, snug in a box, sit a very little pair that led her here. Now, guys, remember, her life started when she landed from a boat. And look at that. She has all these stories to tell, with one shoe that protected her, one shoe that got her where she is now, one shoe where she started a family, one shoe where she has, grandchildren, one shoe where she can pass on to, one shoe, her ultimate legacy shoes. As you can see, that's her shoes. And Grandma's crest and scuffed shoes, her tired but tough shoes, will always be our most loved shoes. Now, guys, that shoes have been passed on for generations, and well, and it has one of the most powerful story. It has seen days. It has protected her from the worst kinds of days, and well, I think that's one of the most magical shoes anybody can ever have. And that's her, and that's her family to protect. And well, that will be the most loved shoes of all. That will be the most loved shoes for all. What a wonderful story. What a wonderful story, guys. This is amazing. Grandma's treasured shoes. What a wonderful story about hope, and finding a solace in a new land, new welcoming land where they are welcomed. And well, she has so many stories to pass on to her generations, and that particular shoes got her where she was today, where she is now, as you can see. Well, she has oodles and oodles of shoes, and now we know why this scratched and dusty old shoe is so special. That is amazing. That is amazing, and we do have amazing messages from our author here. And it is so Australian refugees history, but I would just like to read this first part. A refugee is a person who is forced to leave their country because they're afraid, because they're at risk of or have experienced persecution. An asylum seeker is a person who seeks protection as a refugee. A migrant is a person who makes a conscious choice to leave their country to seek a better or different life elsewhere. And this is such an amazing story by Coral Vast, guys. Grandma's treasured shoes. I hope you enjoyed this amazing story just like I did.